Hai, bună seara! Bine v-am regăsit la un nou stream. Ce mai faceți? Cum mai sunteți? Sper că vă bucurați de weekend. Na, avem un weekend mai prelungit. Da. Cred că o să vedem ce ne-a scăpat zilele astea. La ce nu am reușit să ne uităm. Deși nu cred că sunt în număr foarte mare lucrurile respective. Și poate ne și jucăm câte ceva. Vedem pe parcurs ce. Că văd că Robert nu prea răspunde. Dar nu-i problemă. Da, haideți să ne apucăm de treabă. Dacă o să vi se pară chat un pic ciudat, ideea e că l-am integrat cu celelalte platforme. Well, în cazul ăsta e altă platformă. De-aia am și scris tu. Dacă vedeți în chat, e de la test, gen. Dar da. Bun, haideți să-i oprim pe Albatrosc din București. Și... hai noroc, obuz. Ce faci? Como estas? Oh, Azerot, noroc. Oh, ați venit așa, ați venit în brigadă, a? Iar m-am dat în chat? Nu se poate. E... acum e mai bine? E mai bine acum? Sau e la fel? N-ar trebui să... n-ar trebui să mă aud. Încă? Hai că am dat mai tare. Am umblat aici, vă dați seama. Hai, nu fiți cârnească, mă aud bine acum. Nu fiți sau sages. Nope. Face mișto azelul ăsta. Tu ai vrea, dar ai și căști din care poți să dai mai tare, iartă-mă. Eu înțeleg că tu îți dorești, dar asta nu înseamnă că se va și întâmpla. Din păcate. Azi avem și Xbox, Microsoft stuff, nu? Bă, au scos ăștia Xbox handled? Yeah. Este așa. Hai, tu YouTube-ul, mătii. Așa.
It's an ROG Ally. It's the Xbox
It's on me,
ROG
Mario.
Ally X. And there's a lot to unpack here because
Tocmai ce s-a
this
terminat?
is
Eu nu l-am văzut.
loaded with things that I have never seen before.
Ma.
For starters, this is my very first
arată
hands-on
bine.
with the AMD
Am vedere.
Ryzen Z2 Extreme, a Zen 5 16 CU mobile gaming monster, if my first impressions are anything to go by. It's also the first time a third-party PC has ever borne the Xbox name. And even bigger, Yes, and even those two other things, this is the first time that the Xbox team has been given the power to dive under the hood and fundamentally alter the gaming experience on Windows.
Hai că-l dau un pic mai
I'm
tare.
talking Xbox team code right into the Windows branch. Like your PC boots
This is the best I can do.
Xbox full screen UI that brings together all your favorite games across Game Pass, Windows, and yes, even
Asta că eu am uitat să iau ceva. Mă să-mi iau
third-party
niște
app
struguri.
stores. Not
Revin,
only
mă
that,
scuzați.
but the Xbox team was given the power to trim the fat,
Au
so to
arătat
speak.
Hai un
Meaning
live
that
2.
in the new
Aoleu,
gaming UI, non-essential processes, even the Windows desktop are simply not loaded, which frees up substantial system resources. They're quoting 2 gigabytes of RAM savings now and have made it very clear that they're not done yet. It's cliche, folks, but Valve appears to have awakened the giant, and this thing could be a game changer for handheld PC gaming. It's also cliche, but here's a segue to our sponsor.
War Thunder! Experience a detail-packed vehicle combat game with thousands of realistically modeled aircraft, helicopters, tanks, warships, and more. Jump in for free using our link in the video description.
Let's kick things off with the elephant in the room. The big, kind of funky looking elephant in the room. This is not a slim, sleek console like the Nintendo Switch 2. But that decision was made for a number of very good reasons. See, the goal from the Xbox team was to take the Xbox controller experience and translate that to a handheld PC. That means large, contoured grips, full-sized analog sticks, a subtly angled screen to improve neck ergonomics, and, in the X version, impulse triggers like we first saw with the Xbox One. I assumed
Strungurii ăștia au
Microsoft
fost
wouldn't
lăsați undeva în
provide competing
bucătărie.
devices at this first look,
Pe margine,
so
așa.
I brought a
N-aveau
whole
gură să strige.
backpack of them, and the most obvious one is, of course, the original Ally, and the interface is extremely similar, with only the rhombus-shaped Xbox button really being
Am
added
fost și
by
la baie
comparison.
să-
This is used to access the game bar overlay and armory
tot.
crate, which raises an interesting question.
Să mă era?
What's the armory crate button here for then?
Hai că ne uităm după asta.
I don't know. I've asked if maybe it could be a reconfigurable macro button going forward.
Ce-mi plac
I got a
drepturile
firm
astea.
maybe on
Buton.
that. Realistically, a lot of things are still up in the air on this. The back is completely different and really shows how much ASUS, probably with some help from the
CDA?
Microsoft team, has learned about ergonomics over the last couple of years. Even though this is a heavy device, very much like the Ally X, which at least managed to lose the squared off corners, it feels lighter. And I was really unsure about the angled screen. Honestly, I kind of thought I'd hate it, but I completely forgot about it when I was using it, and it just feels natural. Of course, ASUS isn't the only ones who makes handheld PCs, and some makers figured out that ergonomics were important right from the get-go. So how's it compare to the Steam Deck? Obviously, the middle section is way thicker, and it's noticeably heavier. But from a packability standpoint, it's actually less wide, and you do get the benefit of larger face buttons, though you lose the touchpads that many Steam Deck users really love. As for the Switch 2, I had intended to talk more about this comparison, but it's clear from looking at them that these are entirely different classes of device, and the customer for one is simply not going to be the customer for the other, I don't think. Bottom line, while the weight might be a turnoff for some, I think they nailed the ergonomics on this, though ironically, it actually feels a little closer to the curves of the DualSense than it does to the Xbox controller. Not that I'm saying that's a bad thing. Now, I mentioned there are 2 versions of the Xbox Ally, and there are enough differences between them that you will not want to accidentally buy the wrong one. From the outside, the X version is black versus white, with impulse triggers and an upgraded Thunderbolt-compatible USB 4 port next to the regular USB 3.2 Gen 2. This port allows the use of powerful external GPUs. But that's about it. Across both, we get the same I/O that will be familiar to owners of previous generation Allies, with a volume rocker, UHS 2 microSD card, 3.5mm combo jack, and a power button with Windows Hello fingerprint reading. No biggie so far then. But inside, these are very, very different beasts. The Xbox Ally X features a cutting-edge AMD Ryzen Z2 Extreme processor with 3 Zen 5 and 5 Zen 5C cores, 24 gigs of lightning-fast 8,000 megatransfer per second LPDDR5X memory, a terabyte of storage, and a whopping 80 watt-hour battery. The Xbox Ally Non-X does not have all of those things. And while it is a little lighter, at least, it's not even smaller. And particularly disappointing to me was the inclusion of an, albeit tuned version of AMD's Ryzen Z2A processor, which from early leaks appears to be very similar to the Zen 2-based Aerith processor from the original Steam Deck, which was announced 4 years ago. Now to be clear, these are both current gen machines in other ways. They both use 80mm M.2 SSDs for easier upgrades. They've both got Wi-Fi 6E, and they both come with a reasonably speedy 65-watt charger, but the non-X is weaker by enough that Microsoft explicitly positions it as a 720p gaming console, which makes one of the other similarities between the two devices kind of unexpected. See, the screen is the same between both models, and actually, for that matter, the same as previous versions of the Ally. 1080p, 120Hz with FreeSync premium variable refresh rate, and 500 nits peak brightness. So I guess on this one, you're either going to render out a lower resolution or rely on AMD's FSR upscaling in order to reach native. In either case, it's an okay display. It's good enough that I still daily drive an Ally, but it is not on par with the eye-popping HDR, instantaneous response times, or incredible low brightness night gaming comfort of the Steam Deck OLED. One of my first questions then was, with such different hardware across the product family, how is Xbox going to manage gamers' expectations and work with publishers to optimize the experience? The answer to this is a little complex, but it is worth hearing because it gives us tremendous insight into Microsoft's vision for this device and for Xbox more broadly. Like Valve, Microsoft is working on a verified program of sorts. But unlike Valve, Microsoft obviously won't have just one piece of hardware to target, meaning I wouldn't expect to see an Xbox Ally setting in the graphics quality drop down anytime soon. So what are they going to be doing then? Well, for one thing, they're going to be validating the usability elements, just like Valve does. Does the game support a controller? Does text scale correctly on smaller, higher DPI displays? As for the performance side, well, the strategy is going to involve using Windows telemetry data, including specs of your machine, the game you're playing, and gaming frame rates, to group similar systems together to give gamers a rough idea of which titles will perform well. All of this is going to be presented in the game library of the Xbox full screen experience. And I'm going to come back to the game library in a second, because first, I gotta say, the UI looks slick. And more importantly, it's the first thing you'll see when you boot up your handheld or wake it up from sleep. They've done so much here. On top of the resource optimization that I mentioned earlier, the Xbox team has a really cool multitasking interface that gives you quick access to a browser or Discord, and they claim they have already managed to triple the efficiency of standby, with a ton more work coming to make this the most console-like PC experience you've ever had. None of which is to say that you will lose out on any of the good things about gaming on Windows. Compatibility is expected to be on par with regular Windows, and should you desire a more desktop-like experience, you can access that using the joysticks as a mouse or with standard peripherals, either connected directly or through a dock. The system will just load up the necessary Windows processes and hopefully put them back to sleep when you go back to the Xbox full screen experience. They didn't have a firm answer on that one. Nor did they have a firm answer on how Windows updates are going to be managed. Are they going to be more Windows-like with the constant interruptions and the background resource hogging and the flavin'? Or are they going to be more Xbox-like? TBD. Okay, let's come back to the game library now. The idea here was to bring all your games together in one place. And I know, I can already see the XKCD comic in my mind's eye. But this implementation looks like one that I might actually want to use, bringing together your Windows games, your Game Pass games, your cloud-streamed games, and even remote play from your Xbox console, allowing you to quickly and easily synchronize your progress and achievements and your recently played titles so you can just grab and go and game anywhere. The new game bar also, honestly, kind of sick. For the first time ever, I have wanted a hotkey to access the game bar. Who'd have thunk it? Instead of a big, cluttery full-screen interface, they used the shoulder buttons to flip through menus in a way that was, honestly, intuitive to me within seconds of my hands-on time. They also showed off gamepad support, by the way, for entering pins from the Windows lock screen. It was super cool. And all of this sounds great, at least for the privileged few who own an Xbox Ally X, but what about the rest of us? Well, coming back to the vision. hiding away at the bottom of one of the slides was a very interesting little nugget that described these innovations as being great for handhelds like the Xbox Ally and Ally X. That like is doing a lot of heavy lifting. While the highlight today is obviously the partnership with Asus ROG, when the Xbox team got jacked into Windows development, it seems to me that they weren't tasked with cleaning up Windows gaming for one premium handheld device. My impression is that they were tasked with cleaning it up more broadly and bringing it in line with Microsoft's vision that in the future, every screen is an Xbox. So I think that at some point, we can expect general Windows users to benefit immensely from these developments, many of which are positioned as long-term projects that will be constantly improved with feedback from both partners and from gamers, which is a really good thing because while I couldn't get a firm answer on pricing of these new allies, I'm expecting them to be more in line with previous allies than with Microsoft's traditional console competitors. They're gonna hurt a little. Hurt almost as much as I feel like the Xbox folks watching people like me lament the death of handheld gaming on Windows have hurt. First, they must have been hurt because they knew that what we were saying was true and they were powerless to fix it. And then it must have hurt because they knew that they'd finally been given the power to do something, to fix Windows gaming, but they've been stuck operating in stealth mode. Well, now that the cat's out of the bag and they're ready to talk about it, the energy is palpable, both from Asus and Microsoft, and also from the other folks that have laid hands on these devices. I'm also feeling another kind of energy, the energy to tell you about our sponsor.
War Thunder! Take to the skies, strike from the sea, and dominate on land. With War Thunder's thousands of vehicles, each...
Wow, încă mai e în viață jocul ăsta. A zis că e posibil să fie niște nesimțiți, da? Ce e asta? Vrei să-mi iau bani?
The glittering streets of Avalon sure do shine. Because they suit their filth down to us.
Get your paper in! Who's for a paper?
Here's to playing in the mud. Life here ain't for the soft-hearted.
You will be paying me back until you fucking rust.
It ain't for the spineless.
Keep your filthy pickers off me!
And as sure as shite ain't for the decent.
That's a clean sweep for one.
There has been a crime! Justice itself has been affronted! I have been burgled!
Lord Griswick.
Berto!
Yes, I got that part. Do you know anyone who might wish you ill? We can't arrest and question everyone. Let's see if we can narrow the suspects down a bit.
They were,
Trust your instincts, sir.
tall,
Yes, sir.
built rather slim, well, muscular. Mm-hmm. Was very quick, agile.
Go on.
With a mustache. No, larger.
I see.
Quite fashionable. That's the fiend who robbed me.
They got my good side this time. Breaking in is the easy part.
Să-mi pică ăla era un steampunk Napoleon.
They got my good side this time.
Poza asta originală e cu Napoleon. Dar pare ciudățel așa, nu știu.
In is the easy part.
Your brandy, sir.
Getting away with it is the real trick.
Da,
Candlesticks ain't gold. Worthless and dull, just like you. Nah, I have a customer. How can I help you?
I'd rather talk to you, Errol. Sounds like I'll get a better deal.
You talk to me first, and him never. Got it?
Uncle's a bit touchy, ain't he, Errol?
Touchy? I say I'm touchy.
E heist.
There. Anything else you'd care to say to Errol? Brains. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it.
Round here, it's all sharp edges, empty pockets, and blood on the cobbles. Goodbye, Silas.
No, no! I'll hurt you, you fucking meatsack! I'll leave you with a pissing pan of peaches!
You'd either got
L-a
a gang
băgat în
in your
buzunar
back
sau s-a șters cu el, că
or
nu
a
mi-am dat
knife in
seama.
it.
We're family here. Family takes care of its own.
Can't put a price on that, can you?
Them's in charge. They don't keep order. They keep power.
Take this thing
Power.
into the crucible and melt it.
They just want us beaten, broken, and too scared to fight back.
I don't want to kill him.
That's why it pays to be clever and well-armed. Let's go and end a few arguments. Don't get cocky. They've got a weapon far worse. Time.
Oh,
And if they can rewrite history, they can rewrite us. But look who just found Mummy's keys.
hai, e cu
Now I can
timp cu
fiddle with
nebunii.
time. Put the bullet back in the barrel. Bring the chaos to a crawl. Take a mistake and make it like it never happened. We can change
E
the
time
world
heist
as we
game.
know it. One choice at a time. And I can even go back and change the past to change the future.
De la Arcane.
And let me tell ya, the hunters don't like it when the rabbits got the gun.
Designer. Build over.
Now let me alone and piss off!
Play it day one with Game Pass.
Clockwork Revolution. Da, mișto. Da, chiar să sincer și mie când încep alea, cum zice, conferința cu nebunii. Că nu știu la cât, la ce ore e programat. Și ok, e aproape gata. Cum adică e aproape gata? Asta a terminat deja? A, era asta? PC Gaming Show? A început la 8. Am înțeles. Xbox. Tu zici că stai într-un scorpion. Stai călare pe un scorpion. A, asta a fost, mă. Păi și ce are? Ne mai uităm o dată. Nu ăla? Mai sus? Asta era?
And even science grenades that will levitate enemies,
Look
allowing
at
you to
my
fire upon them while they float helplessly.
Pare că nu s-a terminat.
And of course, science weapons are back. We have returning
Dai de la
favorites
zero.
like the shrink ray. This
Gata. Outer Worlds 2. Outer Worlds l-a jucat Sanji. Și i-a plăcut. Eu n-am avut bani atunci de el. De fapt, cred că nici el și l-au luat la Game Pass sau ceva de genul. Invasion of Arcadia. Day 1. Oh, day 1020.
Care that the colony is in disarray. We didn't come to Arcadia to get bogged down in pointless warfare. We came to spread freedom and liberate resources for profit. But this pesky Earth Directorate agent is mucking things up. They're not alone in doing so. And they think they can just choose how things play out. They could stop us from stealing the Protectorate's brainwashing technology, which we need to improve our market share. What if this stranger aligned with the Order and that world computer of theirs? That could be the key to closing the rifts that threaten the colonies. So, you see,
L-a făcut
must be wiped from the face of existence. Or, better yet, brought to our side through the power of capitalism.
L-a făcut mai multe pe ăla.
Now, let's get out there and buy our way to victory.
Ce este Alice in Wonderland Steampunk version?
I'm yearning and yearning for you. My heart
Outer Worlds.
every last bit of my way, every last bit that I'm paying.
Momentul ăla când îți vomită arma în loc să tragă. Doiu. Obsidian.
The cost may be high.
Woo!
One day, I know you'll be mine. Someday, perhaps I'll own two. For now,
Mamă, câta nesimțirea de armă.
cause I'm yearning and burning
Ea li chefia, bă, băiatule.
for you.
An adventure made for capitalism by capitalism. Inflate our impressions and egos
Nu
by
cred că au
staying
zis
tuned after
capitalism.
the showcase.
Cât de tare. Depinde cu ce vomităm. Cu plasmă, cu ce să...
Babe, what's wrong?
I'm sorry. I've just been so depressed lately.
You know, it would fix everything. Humanziprum.
Bă! Cât de șmecher. Deja m-am prins că e... High on life. Baby Shark, târ. A, eu ți-o stau să ai de fapt. Aww. Oh. Oh, you have a bow. Interesting.
Yeah,
Și multe
humans
medicamente.
are barely sentient. Scientists have done studies, and their brains are like half the size of ours.
Mișto. Ăla da, ăla l-aștept.
World premiere.
Wow. Aoleu, Assassin? Așa părea. Ăsta e lasoul magic al... Avem armură romană târzie, aparent. Ce ăsta? Prince of Persia? Resonance. Ah, Plague Tale. No, ok. Părea ciordeală după Assassin's Creed. Aolo. Ce la Hypercube-ul? Înțeles. Am crezut că e tezoractul, știi? Are și Battle.net-ul integrat, bă, băiatule, bă. Da, stai liniștit, auzi. Te așteptăm când revii. Deci Expedition 33. Frumos, frumos.
At Xbox, we strive to put the player first. And that's what you've seen from us over the years. We've led the industry with backward compatibility. We championed crossplay and cross-progression. We deliver Game Pass, first on console, then on PC, and with cloud gaming. So what's next? How can we give you even more freedom, more choice, more ways to play? Our next step is to unify your gaming no matter where you buy or play. So we're building an Xbox experience designed for players, not locked to a single store or tied to one device. The Xbox Ally is an Xbox you can hold in your hands, bringing together the power of Xbox and the freedom of Windows. On this Xbox, you can play games across your entire library, including all the Windows PC game stores, from Xbox and Battle.net to Steam, GOG, and Ubisoft Connect. And the highly anticipated Hollow Knight Silksong will be available at launch and in Game Pass when the Ally releases later this year. In fact, every new game you see in today's show will be playable on the Xbox Ally. We have always wanted you to have the unique experience of Xbox on any screen. That's why we're investing in Xbox Play Anywhere.
No.
Whether you're playing on console, PC, smart TV, or any Windows handheld like the new Xbox Ally, the Xbox experience roams with you. Your library, progression, friends, and achievements. There are over 1,000 Xbox Play Anywhere games on Xbox today. And every new game you see in today's show, from our partners and our studios, is Xbox Play Anywhere. And because it's Xbox, you can always have access to Game Pass with a diverse lineup of games from the biggest franchises to critically acclaimed indie hits. This is the freedom we believe players should have. Any game, anywhere. And we are giving it our all every day to make this vision real. But it all comes back to the games. From Dead to Rights on the original Xbox to Armored Core 6, our relationship with Bandai Namco Entertainment has stood the test of time. We both believe in bringing amazing experiences to players around the world, and their next game does exactly that. From Rebel Wolf Studio, this is a story-rich action RPG steeped in dark fantasy that I can't wait for you to explore. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Și Dawn Walker ăla o să fie mișto. Interesant. Oh.
Monsters have always been here, watching from the shadows. And when we were at our weakest, they came out into the light. We feared for our lives, but we should have feared for our souls instead. The vampires didn't come to kill us. No, they came to rule. To turn us into mindless, docile cattle. Not me, though. They tried to change me into one of them. But I became something else instead. Their worst nightmare. A Dawnwalker. Trapped between
E un fel de Blade, dar medieval.
Fighting to even the score. Fighting to understand the evil behind it all.
He is out there watching, seeping into you, growing.
Mișto. Da, da. Frumos, frumos.
World premiere.
Și asta. Cap... Ah. Eu găsesc Cupheads ceva. It's a jelly attack. Oh. Ha, ce tare. Super Meat Boy? No. Ce nume i-au ales? Meat Boy. Ba?
Watch your back, Yakumo. You're a wanted criminal now.
I'll kill the Dark Dragon myself. It's my mission. My duty as a Raven Ninja.
Breaking the Dark Dragon free has its consequences.
This is it.
Sayori.
Ryu, there's something I need your help with.
Cam bizare.
The Dark Dragon is mine.
Arătănile astea. Ninja Gaiden. Wow, dar n-am mai jucat un Ninja Gaiden de nu știu când. De pe Terminator, de pe NES. Bethesda.
Good luck, Indy.
What are you doing, Jones? Are you crazy?
New adventure.
This is where it starts. Beneath the streets of Rome. Enter the city of Antioch. Find the secret relic. Bring it back to the Holy See. Defend the secret. They worshipped the giants.
The giants. The Order of Giants.
World premiere.
はるか昔、この国に輪廻の獣が現れた。
ゴジラ。
輪廻の獣は汚れを吐き、あらゆる生物を蝕んだ。
Game Freak. Ce pălăriară de așigar are. un fel de Samurai Jack.
4026年人類は滅亡を待つのみ
Beast of Reincarnation. Bada.
封じ後エマお前こそが輪廻の獣を滅ぼす刃となる
Da. Xbox-uri.
The glittering streets of Avalon sure do shine. Because they sweep their filth down to us.
Asta l-am văzut mai devreme.
Here's to playing in the mud.
Putem să dăm înainte.
Now let me alone and piss off.
Nu mi-a plăcut chiar atât de mult încât să ne mai uităm încă o dată.
Our creative teams are dedicated to bringing players award-winning, record-breaking, critically acclaimed games. Call of Duty, Black Ops 6 from Activision, Doom, The Dark Ages from Bethesda, Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred from Blizzard, and Avowed from Xbox Game Studios. All of our teams across Xbox First Party are shipping their most played games ever, and they're also delivering more content than ever before. From original single-player experiences to vast online worlds, our teams are empowered to build the games they've always dreamed of.
They have
we
the
want our
power.
players to have the choice and flexibility of where and how they play the games our teams make. So of course, our games will be available day one in Game Pass, and every new game we make for both Xbox consoles and PC will be Xbox Play Anywhere. On behalf of our creative teams, thank you. These experiences don't stop when you put down the controller. As you've seen in recent years, more and more of our characters, stories, and worlds are expanding to brand new audiences through TV and film. A Minecraft movie and the Fallout TV series broke records and brought millions of players into the game. We have more projects in the works as gaming continues to influence film and television like never before. When it comes to growing new franchises, Obsidian is having a year like no other. From launching a blockbuster new game like Avowed to the upcoming release of The Outer Worlds 2 this October. Obsidian is always delivering great games, and they have a third game launching this year. You'll get to go deeper on it in our Direct, but until then, let's take a look.
World premiere.
I told you, you can't run from me, you foul beast! With new flexible legs, the yoke girth action figure can ride anything!
Breaking news. There's been an explosion at Brook Hollow Park. Chaos descended on a ceremony commemorating the 2-year anniversary of when 4 teenagers were miniaturized against their will and left to fight for their survival in the backyard of a deranged scientist. Formerly evil company Ominent Practical Technologies was set to dedicate a statue of the 4 teenagers, fast food science robot Burgle, and Dr. Tully when an explosion erupted. Dr. Tully and the teenagers' current whereabouts are also unknown.
Pare că a început runda a doua.
You gotta keep them separated.
Again. Woo. Killer Mantis. Grounded, bă. Da? Știu.
The predecessor, ND3500, reached. Accessing predecessor's travel log. Attempting data salvage.
I have encountered an unprecedented orphan. It was in a state of suppressed recomposition.
The behavior pattern of the orphans populating the area is highly unusual. They become exceptionally aggressive.
World premiere.
Mayday! Mayday! Hold one to mission control. We're falling! Thomas, the ship's breaking apart. There's no time. Evacuate! Now! Thomas, come in!
Ariane, you sacrificed everything for a new world, to save mankind. And I'll always love you for that.
Parcur. N-arată rău deloc.
Thomas, wherever you are, I'll find you.
Interesant. Oh. O fi găsit pe Pennywise?
World premiere.
Welcome to England, Mr. David. I know this must be a shock, having never met your real father, but he left you this hotel in his will. It's been in your family for generations, much like the caretaker. He's a little eccentric. You'll see.
Let me welcome you to the Grand, a hotel famous across the land. Every room used to be in such high demand. Your wish our command here at the Grand.
Well, hello there. It looks like you're about to do some renovations. Would you like some help with that?
So, my father was renovating the hotel when he disappeared?
Not just the hotel. He was helping the entire village. You have his power tools. You know, you could pick up where he left off. You seem like a good man, like he was.
I'm in. They don't suspect a thing.
Just make sure the locals don't get wind of what you're really up to. Because if they find out, they will wicker man your ass.
You keep looking into things, and things are gonna start looking back. Don't make the same mistake your father made. In this place, the only one you can really trust is me.
Wow. Interesant. Da, interesant jocul, dar nu-i pentru mine.
There are as many gods in the world as there are stars in the heavens, and when we need their help, they send us a hero. Who would have guessed the defender of my homeland would be my daughter?
She unlocked the heavenly spear, but is she worthy?
Stage of Mythology. Age of Mythology asta.
You can't rule if the heavenly spear is mine.
Interesant.
주권 국가의 자주적 결정을 누가 허락하는가? 만약 이 결정이 패권 국가의 특정 정치 집단의 이익을 저해한다면 당신의 특정 행동이 대중의 의사결정에 영향을 미칠 수 있으며 반대로 누군가는 당신의 의사결정에 영향을 주려 한다는 것을 인지할 때 자신만의 온전한 입장을 세울 수 있지 않을까? 당신의 입장은 온전한 본인의 판단인가? 그렇게 믿고 있거나 믿고 싶을 뿐. 당신은 무엇 때문에 분노하는가? 당신의 분노는 스스로 결정한 것인가?
S-a teleportat.
누군가 당신의 분노를 이용한다. 지정태. 지정태.
지정태. Dang.
World premiere.
Au mai arătat ceva ceva mare până acum? Nu prea.
E ora olaiem, loite fati.
Nu mi s-a părut nimic wow.
Novo.
Un nou DLC la jos, mitologie. Parcă ceva nou content și pe Elder Scrolls Online.
Dia novo tu alibemo iwa lotaname. Ona otalima diefemo. Teonami. Toma tu accalio, terali.
Cu ce? Cu Elder Scrolls? Dar n-a fost nimic wow, adică... Oricum nu cred că puni la început așa ce e mai mișto. O lasă și plasează strategic.
Well, hello there.
beautiful day to relax by the old fishing hole, wouldn't you say? When it comes to fishing, Appalachia is a land aswim with opportunity. Yes, you'll find fish of all flavors in every walk of waterway, from its mightiest of rivers to its humblest of ponds. Just step up to the bank, cast your line, and when your bobber starts bobbing, reel in the rewards. What do you got on there, Jed?
Worms.
And how are they biting today?
See for yourself.
Ooh.
Bagging the big fish starts with finding the right tools for the job. There are as many unique combinations of rods, reels, bobbers, and baits as there are fish in the sea. And when you've caught your fill, pop over to the local tackle shop to swap fish tails. Can you smell that? No matter what troubles plague the future wastelands of Appalachia, you can always find comfort in cozy little joys like this. You just gotta know where to look. Vault Life is your ticket to easy living. Design and build your own little slice of paradise. A place to show off all the bits and bobs you collect in your travels. Got a green thumb? Plant your own peaceful vegetable garden. And nothing warms the heart like a neighborhood cookout. Ah, community makes a wasteland a waste home. Join today. And tomorrow you'll be kicking back and sharing a meal with friends in beautiful Appalachia.
Gone fishing.
World premiere.
E jocul ăla fără NPCs. Jocul ăla fără NPC. Oh.
最後のチャンスが欲しい。
Wow. Arise. Solo leveling, arise. Over. Interesant.
World premiere.
Oh, muitos Pokémon. Ăștia vor să facă ca pe World, să fie dați în judecată? Sau chiar e pe World?
Yeah.
Anime. Nu prea vă bine.
Hey, what's up everyone? It's Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I just want to say thanks to everyone for all the love and support we've seen since we announced Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 a few months ago. These games have changed my life, but more than that, I've seen them help spread a love and appreciation for skating all over the world, and that means everything to me and the team. I can't wait for you all to experience the game. It's been rebuilt with so much care and attention to detail, with some brand new parks, new music, new skaters, and more. And you can enjoy it all with your friends with up to 8 players in multiplayer. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 officially drops July 11th, and we have a lot more surprises to come. Check out the launch trailer now.
He's still kicking, da. Are 100 de ani. Să dai cu placa la păcănele. Între două scheme intră și speciala. Uite, te dai cu placa la pușcărie. It's a London, baby. Are 57? Oho. Ia uite, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Kawabanga. Eu zic că îl păstrează, îți dai seama. Oh. Doom Slayer-ul, apare Doom Slayer-ul. Nu știam că apare Doom Slayer.
World premiere.
Oh. De ce zboară o sabie pe lângă ea? Aveau guest character sau ok. Ah. Ce drăguț. Oh. Camila. E un fel de Sailor... Un fel de Sailor Mecha Moon. Oh. Not bad. Asta e contorsionistă, că văd că... Fate's End. Că își scoate sabia din gât. Nu, parcă contorsionistele făceau. Mi se pare că în unul din ele apărea și Palpatine și zicea do it! Oh. Al cui ești frumosule? Dar ce e Metal Gear Solid ăsta? Gears of War, scuze. La Gears of War mă gândeam, dar am zis o prostie. De ce zici bait? Că a fost bait?
Looks like they upgraded.
E expirat Call of Duty.
Let's do this. This is gonna be awesome.
Ia uzi, assemble. Gears of War Reloaded.
World premiere.
Japanese. Ia televizoare Toshiba.
The Smugglers League is always there. But you won't see us. You won't hear us. And the only way you'd ever know it is if that's what we wanted. As smugglers, we deal in the goods others are afraid to handle. Guns, explosives.
And don't forget the rum.
It's a life of danger like no other. So I guess my question is, can you handle that?
Getting your hands on gold is one thing, but
Hey,
you
pare
should know
simpatico.
this is what we're really after. The bigger the boom, the better. Smugglers need to be adaptable. It's more than moving under moonlight and shadows. You should be ready to take advantage of others' misfortune. Stealing, of course, is always an option. Just do whatever it takes to get the job done. You are pirates, after all.
Sunteți transpirați.
Welcome, my friends, to the Smugglers League.
Mișto.
You're paying for that.
Sper să nu primească check, să primească cash.
World premiere.
Cenzura, serios? Oh.
This is ridiculous. Please, come on.
Oh. What the fuck? That escalated quickly. Eram sigur, bă.
No, Dad, not even close.
Dar de ce e așa cartoniș?
I hoped you'd understand why I had to do this. Accept our rule or die.
I'd like to propose a third option.
I'm not your son anymore. I'm the guy who's going to throw you off this planet for good. I trusted you.
Ah, e arcade. Da, și să zic.
Need a hand? Might want to look up.
I'm up. See how you like this? It's an army.
I am ending you. I see it all now.
Man. Interesant. Square Enix. Nu de la mai văzut pe ăsta. Nu e Final Spanac ăla. Așa, Final Fantasy. Da, not a big fan. Nu mi-a plăcut niciodată Final Fantasy.
I'm here to even the odds. Any objections?
Know your place, little lamb. There's no one to save you now.
You will answer for what you've done!
Our flames are our own, and they burn as one.
Come to me, Ifrit!
Valisthea cannot endure a second claim upon her being, but she may yet be saved by you.
Prea multe Final Fantasy-uri.
World premiere.
Ce-i pescărușul? Oh! Oh. What the? I-a pus un colac. interesant. Keeper. N-am văzut niciodată genul ăsta de joc. E destul de interesant. Approach-ul. Adică tură să se miște n-am văzut decât la șah, atât.
Games like Psychonauts 2 showed how Double Fine excels at creating unique and innovative experiences, and Keeper is no exception. Looking ahead, next year marks 25 years of Xbox. It's a big milestone for the platform and franchises that you helped build and make popular. We couldn't have done this without everyone who's been with us on this journey. As we think about bringing a new generation of players to these iconic franchises, I'm excited to share that players will get to celebrate 25 years of Xbox with a new Fable, the next Forza, Gears of War E-Day, and the return of a classic that's been with us since the beginning. Today, you've seen an incredible range of games from creators across the globe. Creators like In Exile, reaching for new heights with Clockwork Revolution. Sluggerfly, making Teen Meets modern classic platformer into 3D. Square Enix, bringing more of the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy franchise to our players. And Team Ninja, returning to the beloved series they debuted on Xbox. You've also seen the next Xbox hardware release, our Xbox Ally handheld, which lets you bring your Xbox experience and your library with you anywhere. I hope you enjoyed the breadth and depth of the games, updates, and experiences that are coming to Xbox from our partners and our own creative teams. We're seeing more players on our platform and in our games than ever, thanks to all of you. We're proud of the creativity that Obsidian is delivering this year. Immediately after Showcase, our Direct begins, where you'll go inside the studio for an extended look at the Outer Worlds 2 and Grounded 2. Thanks for joining us today. But before we get into the Direct, we have a final world premiere. Enjoy.
Yes,
world premiere.
Yes,
Welcome to the Guild. We have been expecting you. Please,
the Guild.
Follow me. You already know us as a global tech leader. Our software, our systems, combined with our skilled team, is designed to save lives. Your years of service have shown you the importance of our work. Here, you'll witness the global scope of that mission in action. Let me introduce you to our esteemed visionary.
For too long, we have been bound by outdated systems, accepting limitations instead of redefining them. The Guild is safeguarding tomorrow, now. We are pioneering the future of protection worldwide.
Sigur avea nevoie de un tank pe picioare.
Are designed to elevate everyday life, reshaping the future of technology on a global scale. I'm Emma Kagan, CEO of the Guild.
Oh. That escalated quickly. Interesant. The butterfly.
Fear is a powerful thing. David Mason. Menendez.
Uite, Black Ops 7.
Welcome to Obsidian Entertainment. We here at the studio have joked around that this has been the year of Obsidian, with Avowed releasing early this year and now ending the year with 2 more games. And what better way to cap this incredible year for us than by doing what our studio does best, sequels.
That's where I come in. You can get out of here, Fergus. Thank you so much. No, you're doing great. You nailed it. The sequel is the lifeblood of every great franchise. Think about it. The original creates the world and builds fandom, but the sequel, that's what makes it worth remembering. No sequel, no hoverboard. No sequel, no dual SMGs. No sequel, no raccoon tail. No sequel, no Zune 2. Which doesn't really exist, but I wish it had.
There was a Zune 2.
There was a Zune 2? I'm Mark, the head of sequels here at Obsidian, and I have sequelized everything. Blockbuster movies to AAA video games to my first marriage, so trust me, I know what I'm doing. Come along on this journey with me. Part 2.
Let the killing commence.
The Outer Worlds 2 is a sequel to The Outer Worlds 1. It's a continuation of the themes of robber barons in space and how people are controlled by the stories they're told by the people who have power over them. This time we're able to go a lot deeper because we have more time and money, which is a great thing, and we're able to make it a much more true Obsidian reactive RPG than we were the first time around. So we're going deeper and more complex with everything for this sequel. Deeper story, lore, RPG interactions, reactivity, all the things we've been known for as a company. It's really a complete realization of everything people want from an Obsidian game. Surprisingly, this is the first time in over 25 years that I've had the chance to do a full sequel for a world that I helped co-create. It's really just a fantastic opportunity to explore and expand the universe in interesting ways, and to go even further with the themes of how people are affected by living in a dystopian corporate reality.
You can shoot your way through it, you can talk your way through it, you can sneak your way through it. And so no matter what kind of play style that you like, this is just an awesome franchise and an awesome game to jump into, even if it's your first one.
No.
The first Outer Worlds was a great base to start from, as it has all the elements of a great Obsidian RPG. Interesting characters, deep worlds, important choices. In the Outer Worlds 2, not only did we want to double down on those elements, but we wanted to give players even more of it.
We've also put a lot of investment into skills and traits that impact things like combat, conversations, and areas that we call RPG interactions, which are the part of the world where players can use their specific skills, perks, and backgrounds to solve problems in unique ways in our new, bigger worlds.
I love a deep RPG experience, and building out that RPG crunchiness for our players was at the forefront of what we set out to create. We prioritize those deeper RPG options with different character builds and combos so players can express their role-playing power fantasies. We also have different equipment options for different playstyles and different companions with different abilities.
Nu arată rău deloc.
In the first Outer Worlds, you start off as the Stranger, which was basically a blank slate to build on top of with various attribute points that would begin to define your personal experience in the game. You can make any kind of character you want, but we've given you a role. That role is an Earth Directorate agent. You can think of them as kind of like space cowboys or space sky marshals. They're the good guys that go into places and kind of fix everything that's wrong. You're gonna be one of those. But we don't tell you why you joined the Earth Directorate. There could have been a lot of different reasons, right? It could have been because you're an actual lawbringer and you want to go in there and spread law throughout the galaxy. It could be that you're a roustabout and you just had nothing better to do. After you pick your background, one of the really important choices you have next is choosing your traits. While we had attributes in the first Outer Worlds, we've leaned into traits for the Outer Worlds too, which are these big changes to your character depending on which ones you pick. So it could be something like Brilliant, where you can tag extra skills and you start getting extra skill points. And that's obviously really great if that's how you want to build your character. You can also go and do something like Lucky, where you get extra critical chance, and you also get a lot of really cool options throughout the game as well. Of course, we brought back Dumb, so players love the Dumb option.
Tell me, do you believe in signs? Not quite what I meant, but I like your contempt for boundaries. I could put your adventurous spirit to good use.
And you get like lots of really cool,
Cine
fun
Monopoly
conversation
ăla?
options in the game, but we took that even further. And again, there's lots of elements in the game where you can be dumb and use that for something. Could be
Mad Hatter.
something as simple as banging on a machine
Space
to get it to
version.
work. After you've invested in some of your traits, your next choices are going to be choosing your skills. The skills themselves basically allow you to build on your playstyle and what your character is doing in the game. That will be everything from playing stealthily to speccing for an explosive specialty. Throughout your entire journey, your character continues to change with the different choices you make. In the Outer Worlds 1, we actually had more skills than we have, so we condensed them down to really the core and essence of what we really wanted there. But we made each point that you put into a skill much more impactful. So instead of getting small percentage changes, we actually did much larger changes per point that you put into each skill. And again, all these things, because of how they're checked inside the world itself, can matter quite a bit. You know, just even having one additional skill point in something can open up a lot more options in the world itself. If anybody's played Fallout New Vegas, they'll be very familiar with like the perk system. We basically borrowed that, but went even grander. We actually have more perks than Fallout New Vegas did. But here's the cool thing, right? We check and use perks for literally everything, right? So you can do everything from, hey, I want to make a stealthy build that steals stuff and is really good at that. Okay, great. Well, you can take maybe the pickpocketing perk. So that's not available to everybody, but if you select that, now you can actually go around and steal things out of people's pockets.
Huh.
There's another perk called heavy-handed, right? Where say you're a melee person, what this does is now your
We are
power
fine. We
attacks that
are
you
watching
use
Xbox
actually knock
Games
people
Showcase.
down.
It was a couple of
Oh man, I really like the
hours
serial
ago, I
killer
think.
perk. As you start killing people, they will drop hearts. And
Nothing
you can take
special,
those
we are
hearts,
just
and
chilling. How
essentially
are
you're
you?
taking these trophies, you could say, and it's actually giving you a permanent health bonus every time you do it. We have this perk called Assassin. Now this is an early game perk that you can take, which every time you stealth attack an enemy, you're actually going to get a movement bonus for a certain amount of time.
Oh.
Flaws were a system that everybody loved from the first game, but we wanted to make it more personal to the player. We wanted it to really reflect how you were playing the game and give you a bonus that you actually wanted to really engage with.
With the flaw system returning, we knew we needed to go bigger, better, and more real than ever before. So, we turned to the team. And I told them, no bad ideas. Give me what you got. Okay, we need more flaws. We need them to be real. I want to put them in the game, so give me something. Inspiration. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I have bad knees.
You have bad knees? They hurt when you walk a lot?
Yes.
When you walk too much, they hurt?
No cartilage.
Sounds boring. Makes you sound like a boring person, but it's in the game.
I knew it.
It's a good flaw. What about you?
I like to take small things sometimes.
So you're stealing.
I'm taking.
When do you give them back?
I don't.
He's stealing.
Yeah, you shouldn't be stealing. You shouldn't be stealing, Claire. Tiny crimes? Do you hear the second part, though? It's a crime.
Well,
You're stealing. Claire, that's wrong. You can't steal things, okay? It's an amazing flaw, and I'm putting it in the game. But you're a bad person. And are you the one that took my stapler?
do you need it?
Yeah. Give it back,
Okay.
please. You, what do we got? Flaw.
I like to stare at the sun.
How long did you stare at the sun?
Just lunch break.
An hour?
Oh, I only get 30. You guys get an hour?
I get an hour.
In an hour.
Oh. Makes me feel energized.
How many fingers am I hold up?
3?
No. Anything else? We'll put it in the game. We'll put it in the game because I feel bad for you. Anything else?
One of my favorite flaws is something called bad knees. It will actually give you the option to take this flaw that'll make it so that you move faster throughout the game. But the problem is, anytime you stand up, your knees are going to make a loud popping noise that makes it so that, well, everyone around you is going to
Deci caracterul are peste 30 de ani, am înțeles.
There's one called Kleptomaniac. This is really interesting because what it does is when you steal something, you can actually sell it for more bits than normal. And like that sounds really great. The drawback is sometimes when you're looking at things in the world that are owned by somebody else, you'll automatically steal them. So you have to be very careful about how you use them.
One of the more active perks is the Shun Razor flaw, and it just gives everyone
Kleptomaniac, nu se
so everything
poate.
becomes like light shafts and blooms and hazes, and makes the game pretty unplayable if you happen to choose that perk.
If you happen to be the type of player that habitually reloads your weapons like I do, well, you'll be offered the flaw of over-prepared. Now, you'll get larger magazine sizes on all of your weapons, but if you ever fully empty your magazine, you're gonna take a debuff for a while. While we support options like being a gunslinger who wants to key into destructive weapons, or a rogue who wants to alpha strike their enemies before they know what hit them, we also allow for a lot of fun and experimental builds. You can be a mad scientist who utilizes gadgets and wacky science weapons and armors, or even a psychopath who gains permanent bonuses to health by murdering their friends.
Nothing shows the impact of these character build options better than, in my opinion, the bridge area, which has a quest
If
you
you
get
want a
early on in
Russian
Paradise Island.
play style, you know? There is no such thing
Not
as
only
friendly
do you kind of
fire.
encounter this very early, and it's a very core one to the story, but it really expresses our philosophy of allowing the player to solve problems in a bunch of ways. So you may solve it by, speech options. You may talk to them and maybe have to go do a quest for them and really kind of prove that you're a friend of the Protectorate to get by.
I may have need of your help, stranger, if you are ready to seize an opportunity to show fealty to the Protectorate.
You could go guns blazing, and you could just take everyone out inside the POI, lower the bridge itself, and kind of get across. You could sneak in, lower the bridge, and then actually sneak in under the bridge to get over to the other side.
The Protectorate. Dar seamănă foarte mult cu Dishonored la combat. Cel puțin pe partea de melee.
You can bypass the bridge entirely if you found like certain gadgets, like the shield gadget that protects you from poison gas as you go across, or the double jump boots, which kind of allow you to jump across the chasm and get across that way. There's even a really kind of messed up way, right? Which is players can actually sacrifice one of their companions. The companion who they just found is part of.
We're no different than the Vrees if we start tossing our own to the rats. I sure as law ain't gonna follow someone who can't see the wrong in it.
I must admit I'm surprised we could come to an understanding. But I thank you for your loyalty, stranger. As promised, you shall have clearance to cross this bridge.
It's such a fun quest, but again, it really showcases that we want you to be able to solve this in whatever way you want to. When you build your character your way, we're there for you. We really want you to have the experience that you want to have out of this.
the very beginning of our discussions about the Outer Worlds, we really knew we wanted every game to take place in a different colony. This lets us expand on all aspects of the universe. Every colony can be its own thing with its own flavor, and we can center them around anything we want, any ideas or setting we're interested in. Arcadia is an isolated colony with abundant resources, and it's run by an authoritarian faction called the Protectorate. Their dictatorship is thematically based around the question of how much freedom people will give up for security and luxury. For Protectorate subjects, unfortunately, that answer is everything. The Protectorate is also incredibly wealthy because it was founded by the inventor of the skip drives, which are the Outer World's faster-than-light engines. But those skip drives are starting to cause rifts in space-time, which are cutting off all the other colonies on Earth from being able to trade with each other. The Order of the Ascendant is an offshoot of the Order of Scientific Inquiry from the original game, and like them are a science-based religion with the same goal of solving the universal equation, which will allow them to predict and alter the future to the benefit of all mankind. They used to be part of the Protectorate, but they split off to focus on solving the equation for the good of everyone, not as a way to simply control the masses. The player's been sent to Arcadia as an Earth Directorate agent to find out how the skip drives are causing the rifts and what can be done to stop them. Each of the factions have their own solutions to the rift problem and their own goals. The Protectorate wants to close them to protect their legacy as the inventor of the drives and their wealth. The Order wants to close them not only for the good of everyone, but also because they're complicating the math they're using to solve the universal equation. And Antes just wants to be able to open and close them at will to control all the trade routes between the colonies. In addition to expanding the themes and lore of the Outer Worlds, we're also expanding the humor, so each faction has its own flavor of absurdity. Anti's Choice is a merger between Anti-Cleo and Spacer's Choice from the original game, and there are corporate representatives in the Outer Worlds too. They've invaded Arcadia to liberate their resources for all of humanity, at a profit, of course.
One of my favorite things from Fallout New Vegas is the radio system. It was just iconic for me, and I wanted to make sure that the Outer Worlds 2 had that. So we actually built out 3 different radio stations, one for each of the major factions. You also have a ton of music. Each station might have, like, I think 20 tracks of unique music that we've made for it. It's a lot of stuff. But the really cool part about this entire thing is that we actually put a lot of reactivity into the radio. So it will respond to the things that are going on around the world that you've been interacting with. So if you go into a location, let's say you solve a problem for the Protectorate folks, if you listen to the Protectorate radio station, they're gonna be cheering you on as a hero.
Wonderful news, everyone. The Zeranium gas leaks at the Automech repair facility, strongly believed to be caused by Anti's Choice malefactors, have been corrected.
Some hotshot for hire just managed to fix the electrum leak in their repair facility. Now, I'm not saying we caused it in the first place, but we sure like the idea of all those broken auto mechanicals and all the excessive gasping and choking involved.
The factions and companions are great examples of how we're going deeper and more complex this time around. They're integrated into the game's storyline much more than we did on the first Outer Worlds, and like with everything else in the game, they have a lot more reactivity. There are 6 companions in the Outer Worlds too. As usual, each has their own quest lines, but this time they are also connected to a different faction and have character arcs that the player can affect through their choices. Your first companion is Niles. He's another Earth Directorate agent like you, and he's looking for your help to decide whether he wants to become an even better agent or to turn his back on the Earth Directorate completely. There's also a somewhat cute Automech support drone that is basically Niles' helper. Her name is Val. Marisol is part of the Order of the Ascendant, and she's an aging but still deadly assassin. That's right, she's a deadly mathematician who may or may not have some unfinished business to attend to with the player's help. There's also a cultist named Azza, who is part of a sub-faction that worships the rifts, and in her case, violence in general. You can choose to either turn her away from overt violence or support her chaotic and dangerous tendencies. At one time, Anti's Choice had a program to graft soldiers with animal parts to make them more formidable. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work, and most of them are now dead. There's a combat medic who survived, however, named Inez, and she wants the player to help her fix her graft, among other things. Finally, there's Tristan. He's a protector arbiter who is judge, jury, and executioner all rolled into one heavily armored package. It is your choice to either help him judge wrongdoers or show him what true justice looks like.
We definitely have reactivity in the game based on how you've been treating your companions. I won't reveal the end of the game, but let's say if you have not been treating them well, you will find out at the end of the game what that means.
Companions are a very, very important part of merchandising, because that's the real beauty of the sequel. We're talking merch, baby. It is the lifeblood. It is what fuels us. Do you want to see some of my ideas? Hop, hop. Check this out. Gen Alpha loves body pillows, especially ones that look like human beings for some reason, right? Who needs a significant other when you could have a knife-wielding space psycho up in your sheets, huh? What do they do with them when they get them, huh? Maybe a little napping, maybe a little snuggling, maybe a little nut.
What the fuck?
The visuals of the first Outer Worlds depicted a frontier colony in space. The Outer Worlds 2 is driven by an invasion of the Arcadia colony system by Auntie's Choice, which shifts the visuals to be more reminiscent of a World War I-like setting in space. That evolution is seen across all aspects of the game, starting with the factions. How do you militarize everything, including extreme capitalists or math-based scientists? In a World War I setting, war comes with propaganda. The Sovereign uses it to maintain control.
Propaganda.
Auntie's Choice uses it to help their bottom line. The Order just wants to show how it exists within the grand plan. We want players to feel like Arcadia is a living, breathing place scarred by a long-standing war. Fairfield, one of the first towns you encounter, was once under Protectorate control, but has recently been taken over by Auntie's Choice. They don't just occupy the town, they rebrand it with their signature style, repainting buildings, posting guards, and adding propaganda-based holograms featuring Auntie and the Moon Man. Showing the towns evolving after the invasion helps us push immersion for our players. One of our priorities in visually realizing the world of the Outer Worlds 2 was making sure everything is clear and recognizable from the player standpoint. We want to make sure each faction has a particular look and design. So when the player is running across these vast, different environments and landscapes, they're recognizing the motifs and visuals of who they're talking to, what they're going to be talking about, and how that progresses throughout the story. The first Outer Worlds was really about the player interfacing with corporations. And while we have that in the Outer Worlds 2, we really want to express not just the corporations, but how the player interacts with other facets of the world, like government entities or religious structures. And then we elaborate on those.
With larger environments, we wanted to encourage exploration by improving player mobility across the board. Now you can run, slide, double jump, mantle, and parkour your way through all of the nooks and crannies of these worlds. It really allows the player to just explore and have fun finding really cool stuff.
We've aimed to make everything in the Outer Worlds 2 better from top to bottom. The RPG elements were the start, but that's touched our story, our art, and especially our gameplay. A good sequel is true to the original. That's first and foremost, right? Like, we all want to add in a bunch of things as you're making a sequel, right? We want to make it bigger and better in every way. That's what we were trying to do here. And I thought, we did not need this consultant. We've made enough sequels. We understand how to do this. And I will say, I don't think it's been entirely successful.
I am very proud of the combat improvements we have made in the Outer Worlds 2, thanks to my patented combat system. You may be thinking to yourself, it can't be that good. Shush, what are you even talking about? You haven't seen it yet. Watch this. Put a helmet on, because I'm about to blow all of your minds with my COMBAT system, combat system. My name is Mark, I'm the head of sequels. Shall we begin? You're thinking, what's C for? C, capitalize the fact that the people loved the first game. We're gonna take those people, we're gonna make them buy the sequel, giving out pounds, pounds, pounds. Quick ones, ha, ha, not you, Dad. Here we go. What comes after C? O, optimize for player satisfaction. I am terrified of online gamers, okay? I wanna make them happy, so let's, okay? All right. Mobilize the players so they're ready for that sweet, sweet pre-order. Clap with me. Sweet, sweet. If you don't have rhythm, Brandon, just say it. Sweet, sweet pre-order. Everybody has a different rhythm, and it's blowing mine, and here we go. B, burglarize. What is this? It's basically just finding new ways to loot dead bodies. You know what I mean? Right, Otis? Okay, well, it's a big part of the game. A, you gotta agonize about how many people are gonna be angry that we have just put so much combat into this thing and almost no romance at all. We should look at ourselves. What is wrong with us, huh? We can't have one love story in this? How many people have been in love? Raise your hands. Raise your hand if you're in love. Okay, are you lying?
I have a wife.
Put your hand down. T, toi. In French, that means two. Sequel.
I think that means 3.
Okay, you're getting ahead of yourself. Come on.
2-1 pentru
And
Spania.
how do we end it? Anything is possible. And we've established that we're the best there is, and there's no sequel better than us. And if I could just say one more thing, thank you very much. I know I've kind of changed the world of video games today.
For The Outer Worlds 2, we wanted to improve gunplay in every way. We focused on improving the feel of each weapon, the way a weapon snaps into ADS, the way recoil feels when firing, and how impactful our sound effects really sell the weapon's fantasy, to things like how unique reload animation can add a lot of character to each weapon. We've increased the variety of weapons by including new weapon types, but also through a host of fun and unique weaponry. We have things like the Bourse Blaster that fires out tumors that can explode like grenades, or can be eaten by the player for additional health. We have a weapon called Rookie's Reward that will actually level up the more you use it throughout the game. And every time it levels up, it's got fun fanfare where it's like shooting out confetti and it's got a fun little setup. We have a really fun weapon called the pop-up gun. It fires out ad drones that will distract your enemies with corporate ads, slogans, and jingles. While your enemies are distracted, you can focus fire on them or explode these drones for additional damage. New to The Outer Worlds 2 are throwables. So you can use frag grenades to flush out enemies, smoke grenades to camouflage and escape, distraction devices to bait enemies into a stealth attack.
Smoke. Oba. Huts.
And even science grenades that will levitate enemies, allowing you to fire upon them while they float helplessly.
They all flow down here.
And of course, science weapons are back. We have returning favorites, like the Shrink Ray. This time it's been upgraded so you can shrink your enemy down to the size of a sprat and run over them, exploding them into bits.
The Shrink Ray, that was probably my favorite one from the first game, so we brought it into the second game, but we improved it though. So instead of shrinking your enemies for a short period of time and having them re-expand, this time they stay shrunk, and we actually added in the ability to step on them and kind of squish them and kick them, because we knew that that was the player fantasy. We knew that's what everybody wanted to do. They wanted to step on the enemies, they wanted to kick them, so we made sure to double down on that stuff.
To kick them, so to kick
In addition
them.
to things like our returning favorites, we also have some really fun and unique new
So
science
kick.
weapons. One of them is called the Armageddon. This one's really cool because it actually shoots out these masses that are like these little arms that will stick to people or cover or all kinds of different things, and they will continue to just hit them until they get destroyed. And we have another one that's just super cool called the Spectrum Dance Saber. This is a melee weapon that actually lets you attack to a musical beat. And if you continue to do that, you'll actually get additional bonuses each hit you do. One of my personal favorite weapons is called the Big Bang. It's just a big freaking gun that uses material harvested from rifts to shoot out a giant ball of energy, vaporizing everything in its path. Now, ammo's extremely rare for this weapon, but you can use it in just the right situation to devastating effects.
Like another great one is Gary. If you wear Gary, he will lash out at your opponents as you're walking through combat. So we even have science armors, and we've really kind of shown off what we thought was really great for the player from a science perspective.
We're all about letting people play the game their way. There are some players who prefer to be immersed in a first-person view, taking in all of the details. But there are others who really prefer to take the world in from a third-person perspective. Why not allow both? Well, now you can swap between the two, letting you enjoy the experience in whatever way you like. One of the things I really like about having the third-person mode is being able to see all of the fun and unique armors and armor combinations and weapons that you can equip your player with. All of the actions that you could do in first person, so you're double jumping around, you get to see your character in that way, and you get to take in the world and see things in a different light.
The Outer Worlds 2 is really the biggest game we've ever made. Bigger choices, more reactivity, more weapons, more things to find in each of the worlds the players can visit. The team has done incredible work bringing The Outer Worlds 2 to life, and we can't wait for you to play it.
Even though we've always been a multi-project studio, this is going to be the first time we've ever released 3 games in 1 year. It feels amazing to do. We're so excited for more people to be playing our games. It is truly an
De ce?
exciting
Că au
time here
vrut,
at
probabil au
Obsidian.
vrut să pară
We're
clar
exploring worlds big and
că a
small,
fost pe
while
cior de
expanding on
les.
franchises that we've
Că a
created,
fost cu da
and we
par la
have
congres.
no plans to slow down. We hope you all continue to come along with us as we do what we do best, make your worlds your way.
Or stealing big fucking guns. Stealing. Foarte lung ăsta. Obositor de lung, bă.
With the Outer Worlds 2, we're all about the best place to play, which is also the promise of Xbox. You can play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it may be hard to play it when you're staring at all these beautiful holes. Let's cut that. You can play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox. Oh yeah, now that's Microsoft. Or you can take a phone call on this Xbox, then play the Outer Worlds 2 right after. Excuse me, I'm getting a call. Hello? What am I doing? I'm playing the Outer Worlds. Hello? Yeah, this is Mark. I didn't know I had jury duty today. You could play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it takes 2 people to lug around safely. We're gonna go up to my apartment, okay? And this is an Xbox you actually wear that also plays the Outer Worlds 2. What do you think, Claire?
This is amazing.
Are you playing?
I think so.
Fantastic. So now this is actually not an Xbox, so you cannot play the Outer Worlds 2 on it. Can't play anything on this. I guess bread. You ever play bread where you take it out of one slot, put it in the other? I don't have friends. If you pre-order the premium edition now, you'll get early access, which is like a prequel to the sequel, or has launched the sequel to the pre-order, or like, why are any of us alive at any time? It doesn't matter. Either way, my job here is done. It's time for the Grounded 2 portion of the Direct, which is sort of like the sequel to the Outer Worlds 2 portion of the Direct, which I absolutely just hit a home run with. You know, it's really nice to see my influence go on to other games. Take it away, team.
Bă, tocmai are de vorbit. Du-te, dracu.
And big exit?
Mă iertați. Tot mai vorbește. Să mai potolesc.
We're so proud of Grounded. What started as a small passion project to make a quirky game where you're shrunk down to the size of an ant, trying to survive in a backyard, grew into something way bigger than we ever imagined. Over 25 million of you jumped in, explored, built, crafted, and fought off giant bugs together. Y'all helped make the entire experience very special to us. The team's been cooking up a ton for Grounded 2, and we're so excited to talk about it. I had to grease some palms to steal a bit of time from the Direct to give you a deeper look. There were so many possibilities and ideas that didn't make it into the first game, so with the sequel, we have the chance to dream bigger. To achieve those dreams, we partnered with the amazing folks at Eidos Montreal. Together, we're taking Grounded from the backyard to an even larger world, the Brook Hollow Community Park.
When we started working on Grounded 2, we knew that we wanted to make a bigger world. Fortunately for us, Eidos Montreal became our main partner on developing Grounded 2. They have a lot of similarities to the sorts of things that are important to us at Obsidian. They tend to make very narratively strong games. They make games with really deep characters and great character progression. They make games with great gameplay.
Everyone at Eidos Montreal is thrilled and honored to be working with Obsidian Entertainment. Our two studios share a lot of DNA. The same things that are important to Obsidian Entertainment are important to us. Choice and consequences, player communities, and doing justice to great IPs and great franchises. The fact that we're the first partners that they're working with to make a sequel to their franchise feels like we're an important part of their history.
The events of Grounded 2 take place 2 years after the first game. The same 4 teenagers are returning.
So there's Max, Hoops, Willow, and Pete.
They're a couple years older, which means they've gone through a bit more high school, a bit more mature. It's 1992. The world's a little bit different.
Wow.
But we're still in that fun, nostalgic era of the early 1990s. In Grounded 2, we're moving the action out of the backyard and into the Brook Hollow Community Park. Not only is it bigger, it allows us to
Dying
tell
Light
a
3.
lot more stories and expand the world of Grounded by exploring what the community of Brook Hollow has been up to and what they've been through.
The park overall is about 3 times the size of the backyard, and our initial starting area is actually the same size as the entire backyard from the first Grounded. The reason we wanted to move into a park wasn't just to create a bigger world, but was to give us the opportunity to explore the community of Brook Hollow and what secrets have they been hiding.
What we love and what we're excited about in terms of the park is the opportunity to create environments and landmarks that are mundane at normal size, but are colossal wonders when you're the size of an ant. Everything from a giant trash can to a community picnic table or a snack bar. All of these areas come to life in a brand new way.
Part of the fun in Grounded 2 is that the park was evacuated really quickly right before our teens were shrunk. And that means that the park has been sort of turned upside down and is in a topsy-turvy state. And that leads to really fun environmental storytelling, but it also leads into the creation of amazing biomes for our characters to explore. One of my favorite examples of this is the ice cream cart. In all of the commotion, the ice cream vendor's cart has been knocked over and its contents have spilled out into the ground. And what this means for our young adventurers is that they'll be able to explore this frozen cave of interesting challenges and colorful Lovecraftian horror.
We have one anthill that's actually somebody decided to bury a bunch of toxic stuff in the park, and so there's all these toxic chemicals under the ground. The environment looks very cool and very spooky with all of these sort of chemical pools, and of course nothing can live down there except for one type of insect, the cockroach. We are oftentimes reinventing environments, and in future updates you're going to see a ton of new stuff. You do a lot of fighting against insects of all shapes and sizes. We didn't just want it to look better, we also knew we wanted to add a new layer of strategy. The changes that we've made aren't limited to tuning animations or adjusting attack or defense numbers or making characters or insects move faster or slower. But we did all that too, but there's also an entire sort of rock, paper, scissors strategy involving light attacks, heavy attacks, and blocking. We've also added dashing as a new way to both get out of danger quickly or jump in for a quick attack. And almost all the insects in the game will have these abilities now too. Sort of like a chess match, but one that's super frenetic, looks super cool, and is ultimately just a ton of fun. We're leaning into clear play styles for tanky warriors, low defense, high damage rogues, effect-wielding mages, and ranged hunters. In the first Grounded, we have mutations, and there were weapons and armors that favored different playstyles. In Grounded 2, not only will there be passive mutations, but there will also be active mutations. And a lot of those mutations support these archetypes.
My favorite way to play pretty much any game is chasing after those game-breaking builds. And that's why I'm so excited for what we're doing with archetypes in Grounded 2. I'm all in on the rogue. Now, you can even dual-wield daggers. I've been dialing in this glass cannon build that stacks ambush, assassin, and cardiofan mutations with the wolfbane daggers and the wolf spider armor. It lets me open up combat with massive backstab damage that also inflicts venom. Then, I can use the extra stamina to reposition and try to dodge, rinse, and repeat. It's high risk, high reward, and absolute chaos in all the best way. I'm looking forward to seeing what wild combos the community comes up with and what they inevitably break once they get their hands on the archetype system. It's going to be awesome watching it evolve with player feedback and watching us try to keep up with all of your game-breaking builds.
One of the great things about Grounded is the variety of players it attracts, from builders to crafters and everything in between. If you've ever watched me on Casually Grounded livestream, you'd know that I'm neither. I am a murderer of insects. Personally, I prefer the term harvester. I love going out, hitting things, and bringing the materials like insect body parts
Ar trebui să se retragă.
back to my friend's seeds. This way, we keep progressing and playing together.
We're also trying to make sure that armor and equipment are easily understood by the player, especially when they're playing
La câți
co-op
bani are și
with
face
their
propria
friends.
echipă și tot mai joacă.
It was really important for us to deliver on all of that for the bigger space and experience, because that was the only way we could truly support the feature the community has been asking for since the very first Grounded release. Mounts. Our mounts, we call them buggies, have an entire suite of moves and have their own special abilities and attacks.
We really wanted the buggies to be an extension of the player in every way possible. And that meant making sure that buggies had unique and valuable abilities across all the core pillars of Grounded. So that doesn't just mean exploration and travel. That has gameplay implications for combat, crafting, and building as well. Just like how we wanted to expand on player playstyles throughout the game, we're going to make sure that every buggy that we add has its own personality.
The Red Ant Soldier can enlist up to 2 Red Ant workers to follow you around and help you out. If you get into combat and you don't want to fight while you're saddled on your buggy, you can jump off and they'll fight right alongside you and provide support. The Orb Weaver buggies are a little less useful when it comes to general utility, like building a base or harvesting, but they're awesome when it comes to combat. Sure, their defenses aren't super strong, but they're heavy hitters. They're also super fast and they have some great special abilities, like a scream that allows them to stun lesser-powered insects, and the ability to shoot webs and entangle other creatures. So the Orb Weavers won't be your base building buggy. You should use the Red Ant Soldier for that.
Nu știu ce poți să faci 26 de mii. Și l-am terminat de 4-5 ori, adică.
Red Ant Soldiers and Orb Weaver Spiders will be available at game preview launch. There will be others in the future, but those are the 2 we're starting with. The connection that our Grounded community has with us is something we want to keep forging with the sequel as we make an even bigger game than the original.
Pretty much from day one, we knew we wanted to return to game preview for Grounded 2. Sure, it comes with some trade-offs, like the game's not done and it's out to the world, but there's so much value in building it alongside the community. Buggies change how you traverse and navigate the park.
Asta cu PC-ul, cu Cyberpunk-ul deschis.
What we're doing with Grounded 2 is we're actually keeping zip lines held back so we can see how players engage with buggies, and then we can tweak zip lines to bring them back over time to really complement that buggy experience and make exploring the park far more fun. That kind of feedback loop helped shape the original Grounded, and we wanted to shape the design for Brook Hollow Park, archetypes, buggies, all of it. We also learned a lot from that first time around. One thing that stood out immediately: players blaze through our content, especially the story. That makes sense. Story, characters, world building, that's kind of Obsidian's thing. It's the flavor we bring to the survival genre. So this time, we're starting with a much bigger baseline.
There's been an explosion at Brook Hollow Park. Chaos descended on a ceremony commemorating the 2-year anniversary of when 4 teenagers were miniaturized against their will.
One of our favorite parts of the first game was watching the community uncover clues and spin up theories. This time around, we're leaning even more into that, and we'll be keeping a close eye on what our players discover.
Azero, te anunț că sunt 3 ani.
Because you never know what might inspire us as development moves forward.
We really started to hit our groove at the end of Grounded 1.
Sunt 2,96 ani.
Planning and then following through was key to building trust with the community. As a small team, we had to experiment with update pacing and scope, and what we found resonated the most with all of you were bigger, beefier updates, even if it took us a little longer to land. So, that's the plan. Larger, more complete updates spaced out just enough so we can take your feedback seriously and make every drop count. You can expect big updates, new buggies, new biomes, new building pieces, all the good stuff. And we're launching with a public roadmap so everyone knows what to be excited about in the future.
All of us at Obsidian Entertainment and IDOS Montreal are super excited about how close we are to letting all of you players get
Nu se poate așa
shrunk
ceva.
a second time.
Îmi place și mie Cyberpunk-ul, dar nu așa pe față.
In Grounded 2. If you're a returning Grounded player, we're really looking forward to you experiencing all the improvements. If this is your first time getting tiny, then all I can tell you is that a world with an entirely new perspective and an entirely new feel awaits you in Brook Hollow Park. It's time to ride together and survive together.
Vreau să transforme din ore în ani. M-am făcut cu Google. 26.000 de ore, în câți ani înseamnă? Păi sunt 2000, tu ai scris 2600, erau 26.000.
We have been expecting you. This is where it starts. We can change the world as we know it.
25.900, Jesus.
Let's do this.
Da, 26 de K.
I'm here to even the odds. Any objections? Here's the plan in the mud. And when we need their help, they send us a
Păi de-aia se numește Cyberbug.
Here we go. Please, follow me.
Shake it down.
Well, hello there. It looks like you're about to do some renovations.
Keep your filthy pickers off me! You think I care?
This is gonna be awesome.
Probabil.
Hold on to mission control, we're falling!
Există o șansă.
Form up! It's game time, baby!
Mișto. Thank you for watching. I-am dat like, i-am dat like. Hai să continuăm cu niște vătraru.
Consuma,
Dacă
atenție,
vreți un ceai organic,
și rece. Îl găsiți în cafenelele noastre și pe site-ul magazinulnației.ro. Mulțumim pentru toate comenzile, fiecare dintre ele reprezintă o formă de sprijin pentru proiectele noastre editoriale. Știți deja, ne-am propus ca până la următoarele alegeri să convingem cât mai mulți oameni că extremismul nu poate fi niciodată o soluție. Că violența de orice fel ar fi ea, indiferent împotriva cui e îndreptată, trebuie să rămână ceva de neimaginat în această lume pe care o construim zilnic împreună.
Au filmat prost.
Vom face asta prin toate proiectele noastre, aici la acest podcast.
Au filmat în 50 de FPS-uri?
La emisiune, dar și în întâlniri pe care le vom avea la Teatrul Nației.
Pare că dispar 7
frame-uri. Nu e o
frame-uri.
misiune ușoară, având în vedere că mulți oameni care votează extremism și violență nu știu de fapt că asta votează, pentru că ecranul telefonului le prezintă cu totul altceva. Iar ecranul telefonului a devenit, din păcate, singura realitate existentă pentru foarte mulți cetățeni. Dezinformarea a ajuns la un nivel pe care nimeni nu și l-ar fi putut imagina în trecut. Rezultatele alegerilor din ultimii ani nu mai reflectă doar voința cetățenilor, ci și conținutul afișat pe aceste ecrane, la care oamenii au fost expuși cu ajutorul algoritmilor construiți de marile companii de tehnologie, algoritmi care funcționează în moduri pe care nu le putem înțelege pe deplin. E o discuție foarte interesantă aici, apropo de marile companii de tehnologie și de rolul lor de transportatori de marfă. O discuție pe care o face Nicholas Carr în cartea Super Bloom. Și o să fac aici o paranteză ca să vă spun o poveste din această carte, înainte să trec mai departe la subiectul dezinformării și înainte să vă spun ce fac concret alte țări ca să lupte cu acest fenomen. Nicholas Carr scrie în carte că în 1973 un post de radio din New York a difuzat un sketch de pe ultimul album al lui George Carlin, care se numea Cuvinte murdare. Timp de 10 minute, comediantul a înșirat glume pe seama originii și a caracterului ofensator al unor cuvinte pe care le-a și rostit pe post. Un bărbat care făcea parte dintr-o organizație ce lupta împotriva obscenității a ascultat această emisiune de la radio și a depus plângere la Comisia Federală de Comunicații. În motivarea lui, omul scria că înțelege că poate exista un disc, da, astea erau vremurile atunci cu discuri, omul înțelegea deci că poate exista un disc vândut pentru uz privat cu astfel de cuvinte, dar nu putea înțelege difuzarea unui astfel de disc la radio, având în vedere că radioul avea o oarecare responsabilitate față de public în baza unei licențe de operare. După o investigație de 1 an, Comisia Federală de Comunicații i-a dat dreptate bărbatului care făcuse această sesizare. Postul de radio încălcase o lege federală care interzice difuzarea de limbaj obscen, indecent sau profan. Lucrurile devin interesante mai departe din perspectiva dezbaterilor care s-au purtat pe tema libertății de exprimare, a tehnologiilor de comunicare și a diferențelor între scopurile pe care aceste tehnologii le servesc. Radioul a contestat decizia comisiei, susținând că satira lui Carlin este protejată de primul amendament care garantează libertatea de exprimare. Instanța care a analizat contestația a dat dreptate radioului și a anulat decizia inițială a Comisiei de Comunicații.
Șoc.
Deși comisia era îndreptățită să reglementeze programele de radio și TV, decizia în cazul Carlin, spunea instanța, mergea prea departe, în sensul că intra în domeniul interzis al cenzurii și inhiba schimbul liber de idei pe o gamă largă de probleme. Dar povestea nu s-a terminat aici. Comisia a mers mai departe la Curtea Supremă.
Peste 15K.
În 1978, deci la 5 ani distanță de când sketch-ul lui Carlin fusese difuzat la radio, Curtea s-a pronunțat în favoarea Comisiei Federale de Comunicații și a zis cam așa: deși fiecare mijloc de expresie prezintă probleme specifice legate de primul amendament, prezența generalizată și unică a radiodifuziunii în viața tuturor americanilor limitează protecțiile sale în materia libertății de exprimare. Cu alte cuvinte, a spus Curtea Supremă, rămâne cum am stabilit. Nu poți să spui orice la radio, iar asta nu înseamnă că se încalcă dreptul la liberă exprimare. E interesantă în toată dezbaterea asta și discuția despre modul în care tehnologiile de comunicare servesc scopuri diferite, chiar și atunci când transmit aceeași informație. Și vă recomand să citiți cartea asta, Super Bloom, pentru toate detaliile. O găsiți tradusă la editura Publica. De pildă, ascultarea unui disc acasă, a argumentat bărbatul care făcuse sesizarea inițială, este diferită de difuzarea în eter.
Clar.
Chiar dacă e vorba de exact aceleași cuvinte și de aceeași informație care există în ambele medii.
Clar.
Cineva care cumpără un disc face o alegere intenționată de a-l asculta. Însă când un post de radio transmite ceva, semnalul ajunge de avalma la orice receptor care se află în raza de acoperire. Iar o astfel de putere trebuie asumată cu un oarecare simț civic. Curtea a susținut în speța asta că nu cenzurează discursul. Oricine voia să asculte discursul lui Carlin era liber să cumpere discul sau să participe la spectacolele comediantului. Ce făcuse curtea era doar să împiedice conținutul potențial ofensator să ajungă neinvitat în casele oamenilor. În aceeași hotărâre, judecătorii Curții Supreme au mai făcut o distincție interesantă între o difuzare publică și un apel telefonic. O conversație privată rămâne o conversație privată chiar dacă e gestionată de o companie care are scop comercial. O difuzare electronică, spunea curtea, chiar dacă e gestionată tot de o companie cu scop comercial, este diferită de un apel electronic între două persoane. Iar cele două forme de comunicare trebuie să fie tratate diferit în condițiile legii. Guvernul nu poate controla conversațiile private, dar poate impune constrângere asupra conținutului emisiunilor pentru a proteja binele public. Asta apropo de editorii din redacțiile televiziunilor care spun că ei n-au nicio responsabilitate, da? Și ei le oferă oamenilor ceea ce vor să vadă. Nu există prostie mai mare. Cu toate astea, astfel de concepții domină redacțiile mainstream peste tot în lume, nu doar la noi. Noi ne-am luat și noi după alții. Și statele au ajuns prea mici, iar politicienii prea slabi în comparație cu marile corporații care dețin și adevărate imperii media. Au existat în trecut astfel de discuții și pe tema scrisorilor, când oamenii își făceau griji cu privire la confidențialitate. La început foloseau sigiliu din lut sau ceară de albine. Când au apărut sistemele de poștă naționale, a apărut ideea secretului corespondenței. Statele au consacrat această doctrină în legi și constituții. Când au apărut telefoanele, toată lumea s-a așteptat ca apelurile să fie la fel de confidențiale precum scrisorile. Companiile de telecomunicații au fost obligate să opereze ca transportatori publici. Cu alte cuvinte, operatorii de telecomunicații transportau informația, însă n-aveau nicio treabă cu conținutul mesajelor pe care le transmiteau. Din punct de vedere juridic, apelurile telefonice, mesajele transmise între oameni, reprezentau o marfă. Vedeți, de asta e importantă democrația. Într-un regim dictatorial, cum am avut și noi până în 90, securitatea citește toate scrisorile. Deci nu există secretul corespondenței. Dar asta e altă poveste pe care trebuie să le explicăm pe îndelete celor care cred că extremismul poate fi vreodată o soluție.
Da.
Nu. Ce vreau să spun cu toată această paranteză și cu aceste povești este că dintotdeauna au existat negocieri și dezbateri cu privire la noile tehnologii apărute, la cum trebuie ele integrate în viața de zi cu zi, la limitările lor și așa mai departe. Iată, acum 50 de ani, oamenii erau capabili să poarte astfel de dezbateri și să rezolve problemele apărute ca urmare a noilor sisteme de comunicație. Astăzi ne confruntăm cu pericole mult mai mari cauzate de companiile de tehnologie și totuși, deși se mișcă niște lucruri, pare că rămânem blocați undeva. Nu purtăm discuțiile astea mari, ample, care să ajungă în spațiul instituțional și să producă efecte, să propună soluții. Astăzi, nu doar că ceea ce se scrie pe rețele ajunge de avalma la orice receptor care are un cont, dar rețelele nu se mai poartă ca și cum ar fi simple transportatoare de marfă. Algoritmii favorizează anumite tipuri de conținut, cele care incită la ură și violență, și decid să livreze această marfă la cât mai mulți oameni. Și deja știm, există studii, gândirea și comportamentul oamenilor ajung să fie modelate de acest conținut. Cu alte cuvinte, transportatorii de informație au ajuns să manipuleze marfa în moduri pe care nu le înțelegem pe deplin, pentru că nu sunt transparente. Au ajuns să asigure unor mărfuri niște căi mult mai rapide de transport decât altora, pe criterii, repet, complet netransparente. Există dovezi clare deja că platformele favorizează conținutul de extremă dreaptă. Știți că în apropierea celui de-al doilea tur al alegerilor prezidențiale din România, algoritmul TikTok a promovat utilizatorilor români de 3 ori mai mult conținut politic de extremă dreaptă.
A promovat și ce s-a consumat.
Departe, deci, de a fi doar transportatoare de informație, rețelele au ajuns azi un instrument uriaș care influențează votul și parcursul unei democrații. Și peste toate astea se suprapune faptul că alegerile din prezent nu mai sunt un eveniment național. Nu. Politicieni și oameni de afaceri se implică în mod vizibil în campaniile din afara granițelor în care locuiesc. Membrii ai administrației Trump, de pildă, au susținut pe față candidatul de extremă dreapta din Polonia, așa cum au făcut-o și cu susținerea valului extremist din România. Practic, alegerile din ultimii ani din Canada, Australia, România, Polonia au ajuns să fie și niște referendumuri pentru politica lui Trump. Sigur că în spatele acestui strat al ecranului vin alte întrebări. De ce se lasă convinși oamenii de populiști precum Trump și alții ca el? De ce se lasă convinși de conspirații? O rețea întreagă de motive operează aici. Despre multe dintre ele am discutat în episoadele acestui podcast, o vom face în continuare. Un motiv principal este acela că oamenii caută constant povești. Creierul nostru este efectiv construit să caute povești în orice. Iar conspirațiile spun niște povești simple. Trebuie să recunoaștem că realitatea din prezent a devenit foarte, foarte complicată. Iar o poveste simplă, cu un personaj negativ ușor de identificat, migranții, minoritățile sexuale, nu? În astfel de condiții totul devine mai ușor. Rețelele sociale sunt construite special ca să profite de slăbiciunile minții umane. Ne oferă aceste explicații simple care să ne formeze iluzia că am înțeles o anumită situație și care să ne permită să mergem mai departe, să ne vedem de viețile noastre. Contribuie enorm la asta și faptul că muncim prea mult și avem atât de multe lucruri de făcut, încât nu mai e timp în viața adultă, dar nici în viața copiilor, pentru educație care să ne ajute să fim cetățeni responsabili. Ne scria cineva într-un comentariu la episodul trecut că se miră când mai vede oameni care citesc în metrou, că informarea și dezvoltarea personală sunt simple iluzii într-o zi cu 8 ore de muncă, 2 ore de navetă, 2 ore de treburi casnice, 8 ore în cazurile fericite de somn și restul de ore pentru cumpărături, copii care mai primesc acolo câteva minute pe zi, dacă. Când să te mai implici și social? Când să mai și citești? Și din acest motiv, educația media trebuie să fie făcută la vârsta la care avem infrastructura pentru educație, adică la vârsta copilăriei. Pentru că deocamdată nu avem infrastructură pentru educație continuă la vârsta adultă. Educația la orice vârstă e un deziderat frumos, dar e în practică o chestiune aproape imposibilă. Având în vedere cum arată lumea de azi, educația media ar trebui să fie predată ca disciplină obligatorie, începând chiar de la grădiniță și până la liceu. Copiii au acces la internet din primii ani de viață. E normal să echipăm cât mai devreme cu abilitățile necesare pentru a naviga sănătos prin această lume, nu? Iar părinții au un rol esențial aici. Părinții trebuie să fie primii care să înțeleagă că un copil nu trebuie să mai învețe doar ca să ia note mari, ci ca să poată să devină o persoană responsabilă, să aibă simț critic, să știe să discearnă opinia de informație, jurnalistul de influencer și așa mai departe. Școala ar trebui să să-i pregătească pe elevi pentru viață. Mare parte din viața copiilor și adolescenților se petrece azi în mediul online. Sistemul de educație are o responsabilitate uriașă și ar fi trebuit să învețe o lecție foarte serioasă după aceste runde de alegeri. Nu cred că se vor întâmpla schimbările pe care le așteptăm și care să ducă la consolidarea democrației. Finlanda, de pildă, a învățat lecția asta. după ce în 2014 țara a fost ținta unei campanii de fake news organizată și finanțată de Rusia, guvernul finlandez și-a dat seama că a intrat într-o etapă post-fapte. 2 ani mai târziu, în 2016, Rusia reușea să instaleze un președinte la Casa Albă. Știm deja că toată dezinformarea de pe rețele a avut o contribuție uriașă la alegerile din state, și în 2016 și în 2024. Finlanda a început strategia de apărare cu cel mai logic pas din acest demers, cu copiii, cu sistemul de educație, cu un curriculum adaptat realității. E mult mai greu să faci educație la vârsta adultă. În România, cum ziceam, e aproape imposibil, așa că informațiile importante trebuie să existe acolo unde avem deja infrastructura construită pentru diseminarea lor. În primii ani de școală, copiii finlandezi învață să identifice informațiile greșite și dezinformarea.
Și
la
propaganda
matematică,
rusească,
de pildă,
da.
copiii învață nu doar să calculeze, ci și cât de ușor este să minți folosindu-te de statistică. Învață despre artă la școală, dar și despre cât de ușor pot să fie falsificate niște imagini. La istorie învață despre campanii de propagandă, nu doar despre campanii militare. Iar profesorii de finlandeză îi învață pe copii cum anumite cuvinte pot fi folosite ca să producă confuzie, ca să manipuleze sau ca să inducă în eroare. Scopul, deci, acolo nu e la fel ca în România. Să băgăm în viitorii adulți informații care nu folosesc la nimic, în condițiile în care acum ele pot fi accesate instant. Scopul finlandezilor e formarea unor cetățeni responsabili, cu simț critic, care pot fi creatori de soluții. Iar această idee e integrată în toate materiile. Un profesor din Finlanda spune așa: copiii nu caută în mod activ știri sau informații, ci dau peste ele atunci când navighează pe internet. Un algoritm va selecta acele știri special ca să le fie livrate lor, copiilor. Așa că atunci când le apar pe ecran, ei trebuie să fie echipați cu lucrurile de care au nevoie ca să le analizeze critic. Profesorul face o precizare foarte importantă. Ideea nu e ca elevii să creadă că toată lumea minte. Scopul nu este să analizeze informațiile cinic, ci critic. Cum foarte bine zicea Hannah Arendt, atunci când toată lumea te minte, consecința nu e că ajungi să crezi minciunile, ci mai degrabă că nimeni nu mai crede nimic. Nu ăsta e scopul. Toate construcțiile pe care le-am format în societăți se bazează pe încredere. Când nu mai avem încredere în nimeni și în nimic, riscăm să alunecăm într-un viitor distopic în care fiecare își creează propria realitate. Scopul educației media, deci, trebuie să fie analiza critică, nu neîncrederea. Elevii finlandezi sunt învățați să-și pună următoarele întrebări: cine a produs această informație și de ce? Unde a fost publicată? Ce spune cu adevărat? Cui îi este adresată? Există dovezi pentru ce scrie aici sau e doar opinia cuiva? Pot verifica această informație din altă sursă? Într-un interviu, o elevă din Finlanda spune, citez: regula numărul 1 este fără Wikipedia și întotdeauna 3 sau 4 surse de încredere. Învățăm asta la fiecare materie. Asta e ceva esențial. Copiii învață gândire critică la fiecare materie. Nu există o materie distinctă pentru asta. Educația media trebuie să te învețe cum să gândești. Ori școala ar trebui să facă asta cu orice ocazie, la orice materie, la toate materiile. Nu doar cu ocazia unei materii distincte. Un alt elev în vârstă de 16 ani explică în același interviu că problema e că oricine poate să publice orice pe internet. Guvernul nu poate să facă prea multe când se confruntă cu giganți precum Google sau Facebook, Meta, de fapt, zice elevul, iar dacă face prea multe, intră în zona de cenzură. Așa că, da, continuă același elev, educația e cea mai eficientă soluție în lupta împotriva dezinformării. Da. Vă reamintesc, tot acest raționament vine de la un copil de 16 ani. Sigur că, așa cum am văzut în exemplul cu discursul lui George Carlin difuzat la radio, societățile au negociat dintotdeauna drepturi și obligații, limite și responsabilități cu fiecare tehnologie nouă apărută. Această paralizie a guvernelor din prezent în fața pericolelor aduse de noul val de progres în domeniul tehnologic nu e justificată. Guvernele pot și trebuie să facă mai mult. Trebuie să facă mai mult. Pot să reglementeze mai bine, pot să găsească soluții, pot să informeze mai bine. Și, repet, trebuie să o facă. Nu fi lăsat totul pe umerii cetățenilor. Uite, de pildă, tot în Finlanda, înainte de alegerile parlamentare din 2019, guvernul a derulat o campanie de informare despre ce înseamnă interferența în alegeri, cum să o recunoști și cum să te pregătești pentru asta, cum să găsești surse de încredere de informare pentru alegeri și așa mai departe. Ministerul Justiției a început pregătirile și lupta împotriva interferențelor în alegeri cu un an înainte ca alegerile să fie organizate. Noi ce facem de acum pentru alegerile de peste 3 ani și jumătate? Vă spun eu, absolut nimic. Doar creștem furia cetățenilor prin lipsă de transparență la nivelul tuturor instituțiilor statului. Statele pot să facă mai mult ca să repare tot răul deja produs, care este enorm. Cu toate astea, prevenția rămâne esențială. Educația rămâne baza peste care trebuie să construim orice am vrea să construim. Asta e ceva ce trebuie neapărat să se întâmple. Fiecare an pe care îl pierdem, fiecare generație care nu primește aceste informații în mod organizat, la școală, ne apropie tot mai mult de pericolul extremismului. Vă las cu ideea asta. Așteptăm opiniile voastre în comentarii. Mulțumim pentru toate mesajele pe...
Da. Drăguț. Drăguț, dar nu prea.
Let's roll.
Da, am chef să fac niște fraguri așa. Nu s-a putut stabili, bravo.
Let's roll. Terrorists win. They're gonna wish to remember.
la jardel. The Legion of Anubis. Foarte bun băieții ăștia. Era încolțit ca grâu ăla acolo. N-a avut săracul nicio șansă, nimic. Bă, nu e posibil, bă, așa ceva, bă, băiatule, bă. Uite morții lui cum se uită la ăla prin pereți. Ce-ți-vă dracu cu citării voștri?
Let's roll.
Nici ai vrea arma. E o bătaie ca hoț de cai. Ca oț. Bineînțeles că m-a luat din spate. Tot l-am ciupit un pic. Ciupita. Acolo ne-a prins capul proști. Ne-a omorât explozia. Bine că sunt clopotul. Că o să joci cârnat obosit. Refacem matchmaking.
Let's roll.
Laying down a smoke.
Grenade out. Grenade out. Throwing fire.
Morții, mă, te-ai supraviețuit. Mai era un cârnav, bă. Întotdeauna. Întotdeauna mai e un cârnav. Bă, dacă o să uită la ăștia prin zi sau mă bată, mă. Jugador.
Let's move out. Throwing a grenade. Incendiary.
N-ai, frate, cum cu precizia aia. N-ai, fără wall, n-ai cum cu precizia aia, îmi pare rău. Nu prea se pupă. Mamă, s-a spus. Jesus. R.M. Jesus. Bă, du-te, bă, de aici, bă, băiatul. Du-te de aici. Poate așa. Și tu chestia asta la fel.
Deploying flashbang.
Ok, nu mă așteptam la asta.
Incendiary out.
mă protejează ăla și m-a folosit ca moment.
Deploying flashbang.
20 de secunde până ajunge la bombă. Ce țapă a luat. S-a țăpit. De ce mi-ai dat, fă, flash? De ce e arma asta așa? Că e codat, am luat-o de la un codat. Că am luat arma de la un codat, de-aia se vede așa. Zdreanța umană. Buenos. Atât pe ziua de azi. Vă super mulțumesc de participare. Vă aștept cu drag mâine. Să aveți o seară minunată. Pa, pa!